So let's talk about aliens. Over the next 10,000 years, the star which Earthlings have named WHG 54 will explode as a supernova. Okay, I got to make this clear to you because others were confused earlier. Okay, that is the only true sentence on this page. Okay, it's true. The rest of it is about aliens. You know how yesterday the stories we read were true? Right? The stories about the rabbits and the stories about the water hyacinths, those were true. This story is about aliens. I'm not going to come right out and say not true because just because I've never met an alien doesn't mean that there's not any. But unlikely. Yes? Okay. This planet was inhabited by creatures who were very similar to those in the book Flatland, if you've ever read Flatland. However, on this planet, the creatures were all rectangles of various dimensions. To locate, so everybody understand, all the creatures on this planet are rectangles. Some smaller, some bigger. You okay with that? Okay. To locate a planet capable of sustaining life for their people, a spaceship from a planet orbiting WOHG 64 traveled 160,000 light years to reach our solar system. One alien was left behind on each of our solar system's 8 planets. Pluto is a planet. And 2 of our dwarf planets, Ceres and Pluto. The alien who was left behind on Earth noticed rectangular-shaped objects mounted on poles along the roads. One stated, "Free concert in the park Saturday." Another stated, "Garage sale." In order to be inconspicuous, because she's an alien and all, she took on the shape of a similar rectangle 18 units wide by 24 units long. At first, this planet seemed perfect, but exposure to Earth's atmosphere caused something very strange to happen. After exactly 1 hour, the alien split in half. Now there were 2 aliens, each half as big as the original alien. After another hour, each of these 2 aliens split in half. Now there were 4 smaller aliens. After each hour, each alien split in half again. Now, what it says on the paper is that we're going to model what happened to the aliens by cutting aliens in half. Okay? I looked on Amazon, no aliens. There was no aliens on Amazon. Okay? So if it's okay with you, I'm going to model cutting aliens in half by using this piece of paper. Plus, I also did not want alien blood on my carpet. You know how I feel about blood on my carpet. Okay? So we're just going to use a piece of paper. Are you okay with that? Okay. So we're going to fill out this graph, this table. Are you ready to help me? Okay. Here's this. Okay, just to be clear, this is not an alien. It's just a piece of paper. Okay? When I cut it, there's not going to be any blood or screaming or anything like that. All right? Okay. So what are the dimensions of this alien paper? 18 by 24. Okay, so that logically means that side's 18 and that side's 24, right? Okay. So 0 hours from landing, 1 alien. The area is 432. Are we in agreement on that? Okay. 1 hour since landing, how many aliens are there? Do I need to fold this or can I just eyeball it? Are you okay with that? How many aliens are there? 2 aliens. 2 aliens. This used to be 18 by 24. Now it's 18 by what? 12, because I cut it in half, right? Okay. So what's 18 times 12? Oh, I don't know. You should have your calculators out, right? Because it says it on the board. What? 216. So the area, well, the area of each alien is 216. And then another hour. So how many aliens are there? 4 aliens. This alien used to be 18 by 12. Now it's only 9 by 12, right? What is 9? What's the area of a rectangle that's 9 and 12? What are you doing? Like, what are you putting in your calculator right now? 9 times 12? Did I ever tell you how to find the area of a rectangle? Oh, wait, you just knew that? Good job. I'm proud of you. Good. I'm just checking to make sure. Okay, checking to make sure. Okay, so what is 9 times 12? 108. Do you see how we're ignoring this column for just a second? We'll come back to it, but for now we're just ignoring it. Are you okay with that? Okay. If you're not okay with it, we're going to ignore it anyway, so I just need you to be okay with it. Okay? And then what happens? Another hour happened. So we're 3 hours after landing, right? I have a feeling this is going to start to get annoying here in just a second, but for now I'm okay. This used to be 9 times 12. What is it now? 9 times 6. So what's 9 times 6? And how many aliens are there now? 8. There's 8 aliens, and the area of one alien is 54. 54 square units, right? We're not writing that, but are you okay with it? The label's right there, square units. Okay. All right. Then what happens? Another hour. Uh-oh, I lost an alien. Oh, there it is. Okay. How many aliens are there? 16 aliens. They used to be 6 by 9, so now they're 6 by 4.5. Okay, so far? What? Oh, 27? Okay, that's the area of that alien. 27. That's the area of each alien is 27. So are we okay so far? Excellent. And then what happened? Another hour passed, right? I lost another alien. There it is. Okay. How many aliens? Okay, 32 aliens. And this one used to be 4.5 times 6. Now it's 4.5 times 3. What is 4.5 times 3? 13.5. Thank you. Can I respectfully ask not to cut the last aliens? Is that okay? How many is there going to be if I cut them in half? Wait, how do you know that? Wait, you see a pattern? What? 64 here? What's here? 6.75? It's always nice when we see patterns, isn't it? Okay. We have to make sure they work, right? Okay. Let's talk about the column that we ignored a second ago. Okay. What is our general form of an exponential function? What have we been using for the last couple weeks? A times B to the x, right? Okay. Excuse me, aliens. A times B to the x. What does A represent in the exponential form? The starting term. Okay. And what does B represent in our exponential form? Yes. Yeah. The ratio, right? That's exactly right. Okay. Now, please understand what we're writing here is the number of aliens in exponential form. So we're trying to recreate this column in exponential form. Are you okay with that? It's not this last one. It's this one right here. Okay. So if it's got to be in this form, what was our starting number? 1. What was our base? What's our common ratio? And if we don't know it off the top of our head, how can we find it? Take this number and divide it by the number before. Take this number, divide it by the number before. Take any number in the table and divide it by the number before. If I do it mathematically, if I take this number right here and divide it by 4, what do I get? And 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 1 is 2, right? Could I have thought about and figured out that number on my own? Yeah, why? What's happening to the number of aliens? They are doubling, right? The number is doubling. So would it make sense that our ratio is 2? So what power? Normally it's the x, right? But specifically for this line, to the 0. That's the only thing that'll make this true, right? 2 to the 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So what's the second one here then? To the 1. Because 2 to the first power is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. What's the set when it's been 2 hours since landing? What's this one? To the second, does it work? 2 to the second is 4. That took too long. 4 times 1, 4. It's right, isn't it? If we continue the pattern, are we going to continue to get the number right here? What's the pattern? 1 times 2 to the what? To the time, right? Raised to the time, so in this case, the third. 2 to the third is 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 1 times 2 to the fourth. 1 times 2 to the fifth. 1 times 2 to the sixth. I don't know why I started making decimals out of them. Sorry about that. So what goes here? 1 times 2 to the n. Excellent. Now, I know some of you, especially on the last question of your homework from yesterday, had like 1 over 1 time or whatever, what was it? Something times 2, 22 times 2 to the n over 6, or 22 times 10 to the n over 12, or something like that. It should have just been a times b to the n, right? 22 was the number from the problem before it, but it was talking about in general, so we don't want a 22 because that's not in general, right? And we know that it talked about going doubling periods either 6 months or 12 months, but we're talking about in general, so we just have n. Okay, so if you want to go check that out in a little bit and fix it, that would be a good idea. Okay, but in general for this problem, we have 1 times 2 to the n. Now, let me ask you a question. It's not a trick question, I promise. Would it have been okay if I would have put 2 to the n as my exponential form? Why? Because I'm multiplying it by 1, and anytime I multiply by 1, I just get that thing, right? So why did I put a 1 every time? I was going by the formula, right? The formula, I'm making sure we understand where everything came from. But if you just want to put 2 to the n, and in the stuff we're going to be doing on the second page, if you just want to use 2 to the n, that's okay. You okay with that? Okay. Now, I don't want you to turn your page yet. I want you to leave it there. I need to talk about what this section is called real quick. Okay? It says number of aliens as a function of time. Look back to your table and tell me which columns we're going to be talking about if we're talking about number of aliens as a function of time. First two? Is it kind of the third one? Because that's still number of aliens, right? That's just the exponential form for it, so we'll probably need this. But these are the numbers I'm trying to look at. Is that okay? Number of aliens with respect to time. So this is my x and this is my y. You okay with that? Okay, now go ahead and turn to the first page or first page of problems, starting at number 1. After how many hours will the alien population be 512? Well, that should be easy. We could just look at our table, right? Do I have 512 on my table? No, so I got to figure out a way to figure it out. Because not only do I need the answer, I need an explanation of how I figured it out. How many ways are there to figure it out? At least 3 that I know of off the top of my head right this second. So figure out a way to do it and figure out the answer. And then we'll come back together and we'll write down the answer. Everybody have an answer yet? Looks like a little bit more than half of you, so is it okay if I go on? Yeah, okay. After how many hours will the alien population be 512? What did you figure out? 9? Like that? Oh, 9 hours. Okay, excellent. Which way did you use? So you kind of extended the table. 64 times 2, okay, that's 128. Okay, 128 times 2, okay, that's 256. Okay, 256 times 2, 512. That would have been the 9th term on the table, right? Is that the only way to do it? How did somebody else do it? Oh, so you actually went into the graph and put the equation in and looked at the table? 9. Yeah? So she kind of guessed, and she used the calculator table function. Who's right? Well, they both got 9, right? So it's just a different way of thinking, yes? Am I okay with both of those ways? However you found it, you need to write a sentence over here explaining how you determined your answer. Don't say, I guessed. How did you guess? What did you do to guess? Did you enter your equation into the calculator and look at the table? Then write that. I'm not going to write anything because some of you get so used to writing down exactly what I write, and I want you to be your words because it's what you did. Okay? You okay so far? How large will the alien population be after 12 hours? How am I going to do that? So just keep timesing it by 2 until I get to what 12 would be? Okay, that's a possibility. Is that the only possibility? What else could you do? It's like into the equation? 2 to the 12th? What is 2 to the 12th? 4,096. So if you just kept multiplying by 2, what did you get? 4,096. So we got to the same answer, right? Was this way a little bit faster than what he was saying? Yeah, but we still got to the same answer, right? But we're also working on working smarter so that our brain doesn't get so tired. Is that fair? Okay. After, oh, sorry, 4,096 what? Oh, aliens, okay. After 24 hours, what do I do there then? What do you want to do? You want to multiply it by 2, 12 more times? Or do you want to do 2 to the 24th? What is 2 to the 24th? 16,777,216 what? Aliens. Explain how you determined your answer. Guys, with my work, do you know how I determined my answer? Yeah, so if you multiplied by 2 a bunch, you got to say, I multiplied by 2 a bunch. Okay? But this work shows exactly how I got my answer. Is that okay? Is the alien population growing at a constant rate? Constant rate would be like a line, right? Is this a line? No. Uh, so first of all, is it growing at a constant rate? No. Why? Why is it not growing at a constant rate? We're not adding the same thing every time. We're multiplying by the same thing every time. And that makes it what kind of growth? That makes it exponential. Oh my gosh, we're in the exponential section of our book. Yeah, that's not a surprise, is it? Okay. I should have done a better job at making sure my N looked like a capital N because it is a sentence, right? On the grid, plot the number of aliens with respect to time. Okay. So 0 time 1 alien. 0 time 1 alien. 1 time 2 aliens. 1 hour, 2 aliens. 2 hours, 4 aliens. 3 hours, 8 aliens. 4 hours, 16 aliens. 5 hours, 32 aliens. And 6 hours, 64 aliens. We good? Everybody have their graph plotted? Okay. Should the points on the graph be connected with a smooth curve? That sounded more like a question. Yes, no. Well, one of those answers is right. It's either yes or no. Okay. If I connect him with a smooth curve, that implies that every point along that line is also an answer, right? So can I have partial time? Yes. Can I have partial time in this problem? No. Because what happens to the aliens? When do they split? Every hour. They don't like partially split at 1.5 hours, right? And plus, the next question I was going to ask if we can have partial hours is, can we have partial aliens? No, you can't have 2.5 aliens. It's either an alien or it's not, right? So can I connect with this with a smooth curve? No. If not, why should they remain unconnected? So no, they should remain unconnected because why? You can't have, whoa, too many bumps. Sorry, have partial aliens. Or in this problem, partial time, right? You guys okay with that answer? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Are we ready to go on to number 6? Not yet, thank you. Notice, please, there's a new header on this section. This header says area of each alien as a function of time. Area of each alien as a function of time. So which two columns are we looking at now? So the first one and the last one, right? We're not looking at the middle two. First of all, we ignored the last one, and now we're ignoring the middle two, right? First one and last one. You ready? So let's graph it. Let's graph it first. So 0 hours, 432. 0 hours, 432. 1 hour, 216. 2 hours, 108. 3 hours, 54. 4 hours, 27. 5 hours, 13 and a half. 6 hours, 6.75. Does yours look similar to mine? Guys, why am I not asking, does yours look exactly the same as mine? We're guessing, right? There's nowhere that says where 432 is exactly, right? But ours should look close, shouldn't they? Okay, good. Describe what's happening to the size of an individual alien. What? It's shrinking by how much? So it's shrinking by half every hour. Good. You know what they said last period? It's decreasing by half every hour. Oh, that's okay. Okay, that's fine. We good on number 7? Number 8, the graph of the alien's size with respect to time is an example of exponential decay. Could you have known that before we started? Based on the table in the second graph, create a definition for exponential decay. Now, am I wanting a math definition of exponential decay? No, because we could look that up, right? We could look at our book, we could look it on our online book, or we could look just online, right? I want our definition of exponential decay. Using this graph and the table, what's a definition for exponential decay? Tell me about the graph. The graph is decreasing. Decreasing, what do you mean decreasing? So from left to right, as we move from left to right, from left to right, whoops, to right, and I'm going to make that a comma. Sorry, thought I was zoomed out enough. But what? So it's just going to keep going like this, down here. So we can't have negative aliens. So that means the area won't be negative, right? Oh my goodness. Where? So, but it will never reach zero. And why won't it reach zero? There's an asymptote there. Absolutely. Number 9, we're going to have a discussion about I am not going to write anything down. Okay? This needs to be a you answer. I'm not going to write anything down though. Okay? Will the aliens eventually disappear? So first of all, it's a yes or no question, and then we need to justify our answer. Will the aliens ever disappear? So I have 2 no's. You can't see your blood cells, but they're there. So do you consider yourself able to see your blood cells? No, but you know they're there. So it really is your opinion how you answer this question. Kind of opinion, that's the wrong word. Your ability to justify your answer will be whether I would count it right or wrong on a test. Because I can justify either answer. I can justify yes, and I can justify no. How would you justify yes? Yes, the aliens will disappear. How would you justify that? What'd you just say? Because you can't see them, right? How would you justify no? They're so small that you can't see them, but you know they're still there because there's so many. If we had a big enough microscope, could we see them? Yes. You see how I could justify both? I need you to choose one, answer it, and then justify it. Oh, we're not going to talk about that yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's the guy that's justifying my answer. Are you ready to talk about 10? Okay. What is the sum of the areas of all the aliens at any point in time? What's the sum of the areas of all the aliens at any point in time? This was only to what, 5? The 5th hour? Is that right? Because my hand was sore from cutting. No, not really. I just didn't want to cut anymore. Because you guys had the pattern, right? But on the 6th hour, these would all be in half this way. And on the 7th hour, they would all be in half this way, right? And on the 8th hour, again, again, and again. What's the sum of all the areas of the aliens at any point in time? 432. That's exactly right. Squared units would be perfect to put on there. 432 squared units. Whoa. Last question is your homework. Will the aliens be able to take over planet Earth? Nobody say anything out loud. Will the aliens be able to take over planet Earth? Write a paragraph explaining what will happen to the alien invasion force. A paragraph is 2 sentences? No, it's more. 3 to 5, right? That's what your English teachers say, right? Let's use their knowledge and put either 3 to 5 sentences, somewhere between 3 and 5 sentences to answer. Will the aliens be able to take over planet Earth?